If I was playing right now, my mindset would be to, conduct myself as thoroughly as I did in every other practice throughout the week of this season that got us to being, what is it, 15-2 at this point. And don't let this become, I wouldn't even let it get into my mind, but, you hear about the trap game. Obviously we're in the NFL playoffs right now. It's either win or go home, but this is as close to a trap game in the playoffs as it comes. Not to say that Washington is not deserving, not to say that they're not a great team because they have a heck of a quarterback. And there's a lot of potential still left in Jaden. We don't know where he's going to go. We don't know how good he's going to be. Is he going to be like on the Lamar level, or is he going to be better, or not? So let's just not find out this week. How about that?
I gotta ask you about Amon-Ra St Brown. It's your position. I was looking at the numbers. He's in through 4 years only. He's fourth on the reception. You're the leader of all these, obviously. Fourth in reception, sixth in receiving yards, seventh receiving touchdowns through 4 seasons. What do you make of how quick he's progressed and him as a number one for Detroit?
No, he's just been nothing but solid. That's what you got. That's all you can ask for when you have a team, especially a team such as this with leaders at every position. He's one of those leaders on his team that keeps his thing and selling. Even if he's not catching 10 balls in a game, he's still doing his part, whether it's making blocks for his running back or making blocks for his fellow receivers.
Do you look at, when someone is putting up these gaudy numbers that your records could be in jeopardy someday? And that's probably a good thing because it means the team is doing well and he's doing well.
Yeah, I mean, like they say, the old cliche, records are meant to be broken, especially when they add more games. But I mean, the guy, I mean, if he's catching 100 balls a season, he's going to get all mine.
When you look back at the trade, your former quarterback traded to the Rams, Jared Goff, they switched spots. It couldn't be a bigger win-win trade for both teams. The Rams won the Super Bowl. But when you look
Yeah,
at what the Lions picked up in the draft capital and they added in that trade and more, but Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta,
yeah.
you think the Lions won that trade?
I mean, to your point, is a win-win. Was it viewed as a win-win at the very beginning? Who knows? I'm sure that everybody here in Detroit, the administration, they probably viewed it as such. But we always knew it was going to take time to build those things out. But we knew what we had coming in those draft picks, and we picked wisely, and we made the most of it. And now we're in this position where we have never seen in Detroit. The energy is at the utmost high here in Detroit. Even from like 2.5 years ago when Dan and those guys started to elevate their game and started winning games consistently, the energy around here has been, it's unseen because we haven't been in this uncharted territory for us. So to say that it's anything less than a win-win would be false.
How about the coach? It seems like everybody raves about Dan Campbell, and you had a chance to play with him, and he's turned into what taking them to the number one seed. What do you make of what he's accomplished as a player and now as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, as a player, Dan was nothing but a solid, hard-working. Talking about the grit, I mean, he displayed that thoroughly when he played here. He was starting tight end with a bad shoulder, but played through it, was successful. Probably graded very highly in those games just because he's so stuck on the details. And that's the thing that we see with this new team now, man. They're on the details. They're going through their situations. Maybe they're not hitting all the time, but their mind is in the game because they're putting themselves in the situations that they're going to see in the game. And when they get to those situations in the game, you see them execute. And that's the biggest thing that we're seeing right now that we haven't seen in the past. Is when it gets in the crunch time, you see this team is able to execute and stick the nail in the coffin.
What does your gut tell you? Can we get a prediction for this weekend?
Man, I'm not the gambling guy, so don't listen to me. But I do expect us to win this game. I expect us to be in the NFC Championship again, but it's coming to Detroit this year.
Would the ideal scenario to see your quarterback win, see the Rams beat the Eagles, and have Matthew and them come to Detroit the following weekend?
Man, as far as the ideal scenario, that's tough. Like as much as we would want to see, you know, Matthew. Honestly, you might not want to see Matthew that much. Matthew's playing very well right now. I caught a game or two of him. I saw him slinging the ball out there. He looks very good. Looks very comfortable. He has some bona fide receivers out there on the outside too. Not that we don't have a great defense, which we do, and we're beat up, but we're still able to compete at a very high level. But those dang Eagles, man, they got a lot of weapons over there too. Not you don't see every one of them getting used in every game, but they have a lot of weapons to go to. They got those two number one receivers. Obviously, they're running back. They have tight end. Obviously, and Jalen Hurst himself, he's a dual weapon himself. So it's hard to say who I really want to see next week. I really don't. I mean, I know that the energy, put it like this, the energy is going to be through the roof if Matthew comes back here again.
I see the hat, I know you were the CBD partner of Ford Field. Big week ahead, playoff game. 50% off all electrolyte drinks. How's everything going with the company?
It's going good. You know, we started it on the cannabis side, and then we started our CBD company in 2023, first quarter there. You know, it's actually taken off faster than anticipated. We're able to be in, with our ground game. We're able to get into rehab clinics, golf clubs, and whatnot. But really, on the top level, you know, we're partnered up with Ford Field and the official CBD sponsor or partner with the Detroit Tigers. So it's a big deal for us to be able to have our products being used by professionals. That's why we made it.
And I know you want, the goal, we've talked about this before, was to be in every locker room. Is that still the plan, to be as widespread, as possible among all the main sports?
Yeah, 100. Want to be accepted by professional collegiate athletes 100%. So, I mean, I think, you kind of see like a lot of things that professional athletes take on, whether it's good or bad, it's kind of, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So that's the mindset that we're taking here.
Do athletes reach out to you? Do you individually? Do you have people asking you about it?
100%. I go, I was snowboarding with a buddy of mine recently, and he's a former basketball player, and he's like, man, like, you got your topical on you? Like, my knees are killing me. I'm like, I got what you need, man. So I mean, everybody that I've known that have used it have had good results.
You're only 39, man. Do you look back and think, if this existed and was accepted back in the day, maybe you'd be catching passes from Jared Goff on Saturday?
Man, I mean, I don't know about Jared Goff, but definitely you never know, man. We have some access to more plant medicines, especially things that are derived from cannabis, because it's not any kind of performance enhancer by any means.